Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome back to another great episode of Partnership for Profits. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Will Brooks, host of the show. We have a great guest today who has built one of the most powerful referral and machine engines in the legal industry, which is incredible. He's done it in record time. He's super young. I just found that out when we were talking before we came on the podcast. We have Ethen Ostroff here with us today, who is the founder of Ethen Ostroff Law. And what's the staffing agency, Ethen?
Attorney assistant,
which we're going to get into today. But I really want to get into the fact, Ethen, that you have referred over 4,200 cases in is it 3 years?
Yeah. So I started my firm in January 2022 at the same time as starting attorney assistant.
Amazing. So let's get into that. I want to kind of get into the referral side of things, because it's interesting. We work with a lot of attorneys in our business, and they're always looking for referral partners who can refer them cases. You're referring cases out. Is that right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about
for most of the firm's history. All we did was generate cases and refer them out. Now we keep Pennsylvania work comp,
right,
and Pennsylvania personal injury. But if it's not that, we still have a lot of great relationships where we can partner with firms.
So talk to me a little bit about how you built this machine and where it started from, and because you're young, so I don't hear attorneys. You said you're 32, maybe 33. You're not sure.
Yeah, I forget my age. It's significant, 32.
But you know that's super young in this field, in the legal field, to kind of be starting this thing out, which is amazing. So I kind of want to hear about the genesis of this and how it came about.
Sure. So I became an attorney in April 2019. And in October 2019, I was the third lawyer in the country on TikTok and have a few 100,000 followers on TikTok. And really at that time, there was nobody really creating short form legal content on the internet.
Right.
I was along with a group of people I'm still friendly with that were sort of like the OGs of TikTok in the lawyer community. There was about 10 of us for the first 6 months, and then it really exploded from there.
Right.
But I was really fascinated with the concept of selling yourself as a service, which you can do as an attorney. And I knew that the best way to generate cases was to get in front of eyeballs, and social media was the most powerful tool to do so. So, you know, I kind of felt and saw what virality feels like when you post a video and it gets over 1 million impressions.
Right.
Just so blown away by that concept. And I started generating leads from it. I started refining back, you know, from more pure organic content on TikTok, social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, and different kinds of organic content, which I still do to today. But I really started to transition my focus to lead gen, in running my own advertising campaigns, and being my own media buyer, through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok. And I started to get fascinated with, you know, customer acquisition cost per case, and creating my own infrastructure. So, you know, it was about November 2021 that I decided to leave working with my dad and start my own firm. So, you know, in the first month in December 2021, we generated like 11 leads. The next month it was closer to 100. And now we're on a month-over-month average of close to 2,000 leads a month.
And so you're referring all those out unless they're local to you, Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Yeah. So at first, my business model was very focused on outbound referrals, specific in mass tort. So toxic tort, drugs, products, recalls. I did a lot of toxic tort, mass tort lead generation, where I would not only generate the leads and pass the leads to a firm, but I built an entire intake department that would turn those leads into signed clients and then send a full package to one of my partners, where I would share from anywhere from 1/3 to 50-50 on the fees, depending on the campaign, depending on the case. So it kind of started, really honing in my practice on the intake side of practice. So my firm really was just creating our own leads, intaking them, turning them into cases, and passing off cases, because I really value time. And in the time that you can create a lead, intake it, turn it into a signed client, the value of that time, which only takes about 30 days on average, is valued much more than the rest of the whole workflow,
right?
A fees percentage perspective. So I really just loved the idea of building a model that I could leverage either partners' time or other people's time in general. That's sort of the basis of my staffing company as well, is, not doing the things that I hate doing and saving the time on it.
Right.
And delegating it to someone much better who should be doing that work. So, long story short, the practice really was focused on lead gen, squeezing the juice out of those leads. And we first started in mass tort. And now today, we've really transitioned our focus to personal injury, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, and focusing on campaigns that we ideally can handle the case, or, medical malpractice we don't handle, but that's really one of the only ones that will still generate local cases in with intention. So, long story short, that gives you, a little bit of an overview.
No, that's amazing, man. That's an amazing model that you've created. So you're doing that nationwide? Is it on a nationwide level?
Yeah. So to build out the mass tort network, we would create leads nationwide, but in mass tort, you bring in like one partner who can take cases nationwide.
Right.
Or two partners. So, for example, like the Roundup litigation, I'll work with one firm who wants cases from everywhere. And I'll sign cases from everywhere. Now we have a pretty intentional SEO strategy with my firm. So we still create leads everywhere, but now we're only spending in Pennsylvania with intention. The stuff that's coming in from other states is sort of just coming in.
It's just organically coming in.
Organic, or maybe they just slipped into one of my social media campaigns or something.
Okay. Very cool. So, building out this network of attorneys that you're going to refer these cases to seems like a very big job, and like vetting these people to make sure that they're going to do a good job. How did you develop that? That seems like that's a lot of relationship building. And maybe some investigation as well, but just talk to me a little bit about how you kind of built. I get the referring, but I want to know how you figured out who I'm going to refer these to, and to make sure that they're going to do a good job. And to follow up on that, are you getting, how does the fee work? Are you getting a percentage of the settlement, or how does that work?
Yeah. So two things to answer. One, how did I build the network and know who to send cases to?
Yeah.
And then part two is how am I sharing in fees? That's an easier one.
Yeah.
So I share in the outcome. I'm a law firm. I'm not a marketing company, and I'm sharing responsibility, and I share in the legal fees with the law firms I send cases to.
Got it.
So I don't get paid up front. I have to wait, just like that firm does, until the cash flow hits, and then I share in a portion of it.
Makes sense.
In terms of sorry, what was your other question? I apologize.
As far as vetting and building out this network, how do you know you got the right people for the right cases?
So I'm on a portal called the Litify Referral Network. I'm also now on another portal called Lex Amica, and also Attorney Share. I have always taken pride in like relationship building and building relationships with nothing to gain, and staying friendly with people. And I lean into the people that are local. So, when I was building it out from scratch, I had a very good friend that I'm not 100% sure wants me to mention their name, but they were working at a very large firm that did exactly this job of building relationships for outbound referral. And they did it for arguably the biggest firm in the country. And they sort of helped me from scratch. When I didn't know where to go, I'd go to them and they'd introduce me to somebody. So it's really like, don't be scared to ask if you know. And, I go to a lot of conferences and stuff, and I take note of, oh, wow, I've never met somebody from Iowa doing comp. I got to keep this person in my back pocket so that I know, they're the person I want to at least give a first look to and try out. Because it's not just building the network, it's pruning the network. Because, somebody might seem like the greatest attorney ever, and then you start sending them leads and they never call people.
Right.
And I've run into situations where firms you would never expect not to call clients, like just never pick up the phone and call my referrals. So, it's a constant pruning of what's their conversion rate, what's the average fee of the firms I send cases to at scale, so that I can make sure I'm doing justice by my client, because that is a big value I'm bringing to my clients is
right.
I'm going to place you with the right firm. And if it's not the right firm, you come back to me and I'm going to find another firm for you.
I was going to ask how often they come back to you.
It does happen a lot.
Yeah.
So it happens a lot in the mass tort space where I'll partner with somebody and they'll come back to me and say, hey, these 100 clients never pick up our call. Can you help? And I call them. And of course, 85 of them pick up and we get them re-engaged. So we help with the retention of our clients. Even when we've referred it out, we proactively go to our partners and say, hey, like, don't struggle through this. Use us. Let us help you reconvert them. Because every time you call a client, you're reconverting them as your client.
100%.
And you have to take it that serious or they're going to go and hire somebody else because they think you don't care about them.
Right.
So, every one of those touch points I want to be a part of. And the reason we started handling cases is because I felt like, what the hell am I sharing this fee for when I'm doing all the work, keeping them clients as clients?
Right.
So, I felt a little frustration with some of my unnamed partners that made me feel that I needed to handle cases to get them more justice and more answers faster.
Got it. I love the philosophy of your philosophy on relationship building is something that we share in our business. We have the philosophy of just never burning a bridge. There's always an opportunity there that could present itself. You never know when that opportunity is going to present itself with those people that you've built a relationship with. If you burn those bridges, then the opportunities disappear as well. So we're big on that as well internally with our business as well. So I love that you guys are kind of operating in that same way.
Yeah. And it's not like you just want to be hoping to take more from them. I do believe in business karma.
Yeah.
If somebody reaches out to you, just recently I got DM'd by, someone that just passed the bar. And that's like the best call I want to take. Like, not to sound bad, but like if somebody is in there not knowing anything at all about what their vision is about themselves, like I'm honored to be that person to help them through that period.
Heck yeah.
If you are that person that helps them before they make it, because if someone is enthusiastic enough and eager enough that they have the cojones to DM you and ask for your time because you're doing something they maybe want to do in the future, you owe them the respect of, yeah, let's take 30 minutes and talk.
I agree.
I feel really good about that. And those 30-minute calls are cumulative. They add up. And you just keep giving and keep giving. And then people think of you as a giver and they feel obligated to reciprocate. So
yeah. The giver mentality is what we're all about too, man. That's the whole purpose of this podcast, is to give people time and a platform to kind of talk about what they do and how they help people and how people can find them if they need help, whether it's on a legal front or somewhere else. But yeah, that giver mentality is huge, man. We're all about that too. Give. And then you don't really have to ask for things, right? Yeah. So that's great, man. Your philosophy is right on point. This is very this like legitimizes what we're doing for me. Like, oh yeah, we're on the right track too, because we're not referring cases out, but we do rely on a referral network big time in our business. Mm-hmm. So I love hearing that. So I want to ask you, I want to get into the attorney staffing business too, but I want to ask you about mindset shift. There's a lot of lawyers that review referrals as something that just happens, right? It's just going to happen over time. What kind of mindset shift did you have to make to start?
Do what with referrals?
Sorry?
I do what with referrals?
With a lot of lawyers, they review referrals. It's just something that's just going to happen. I wanted to know from you, what kind of mindset shift did you have to make to start treating this like a real business model?
Yeah. So when it is your only business model, you treat it like a business model. I didn't handle cases. I started referral first. So, that's real money. And once you pass the lead off, in theory, your overhead and cost and time are done until you get a check. So if you don't follow up with your leads and make sure the firm you sent them to called them, if you don't show your leads the respect of making sure you're placing them with a firm that's getting the best results, you're not just sending it to your buddy. I don't just send to my friends. I've got great friends that I have cases with, and I send to people that by my data are signing at a high rate and turning those leads into cases and answer when my client calls, and I don't have to deal with cleanup when they're mad, and I don't get those complaints. So, if you don't build the network as what you can give other people, and you just expect other people to pay and send you the cases, I think it's a little selfish that you're just like expecting other people to give you cases, and there's not like a reciprocal side to it. I feel weird when people just give me something. Like, I feel like I got to give something back.
Right.
So I think looking at it, not just transactionally, but, the upside of sending out a case and ensuring it finds a home is serious dollars that you don't ever need to really spend more time on. And that's where, you're going to start to get those big checks in the mail and not stress as much about your monthly overhead, because you're getting big checks consistently as a part of your business model.
Got it. That's a good answer. Love that. So talk to me a little bit about the staffing agency.
Sure.
And kind of when that happened and how it's connected to the referral side of things. Like, talk to me a little bit about the nexus of that and where that came from.
Yeah. So, my entire intake department, my staffing company does full-time offshore staffing. So we build teams in Central South America and the Philippines.
Yep.
Going way back in time, the way that I first got into the staffing side of things, I was working at my dad's firm it's Ostroff Law. He's still a part of it, but it's on the process of being transitioned.
Rich Gottschall?
Yeah.
I know Rich. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So while I was there, they were having issues with nights and weekends intakes. They were having issues with consistent repetitive tasks like labeling mail, getting police reports, this or that, nights and weekends, lead follow-up. So we tried solving it, and it went well. And from it starting there, solving the problems that their team hated anyway, we brought on another large client in the Philly area who now has over 100 full-time staff with my staffing company. And now we work with 250 law firms and have placed over 1,000 staff in typically intake roles or back-end staffing roles like medical record retrieval, document labeling, opening cases. We like to describe it as we love the shit your team hates. So that's where we love to live, in the messy stuff that people don't like to do.
Which will make the lawyers more efficient, right? When it allows them to really focus on the things they need to focus on.
Typically the way that I describe it is there's really 3 categories with every ongoing task at a law firm. It's either brain surgery, sophisticated, or essential. And brain surgery is stuff that only a lawyer can do. If you call a hospital, do you get a brain surgeon on the phone?
Nope.
Of course you don't. So why, if I call a law firm at 8:00, am I getting the partner on the phone? On a first phone call, simply just.
I guess is that a red flag if you're calling a law firm and the partner answers?
Yeah. So it's not necessarily that it's a red flag. It's just not sustainable.
Right.
It's not sustainable. If you want to trade your time for money forever, sure, you can go for it. But if you want to have a higher conversion rate, a higher answer rate, and actually monetize the leads you're generating and follow up enough. We just saw issues where we said we wanted to follow up with all our leads 15 times, but then someone had to go do it.
Right.
So we first started with having virtual assistants call leads that already had been called twice for the 3rd through 15th call. And kind of the places that are a little lower risk, that you can kind of integrate them, let them cut their teeth, and learn how to do the process the right way.
Let me ask you a question about that. The follow up there with the people that you virtual staffers that are overseas. Do you find, and because we have virtual staffers in our agency as well, and they don't do a lot of client outreach. They're doing a lot of the stuff that's internal. If you've got people that they're in the Philippines or they're in Central America or they're in Colombia or wherever they might be, is that language barrier an issue for leads, or are they?
Just
it's not a language barrier, but it's
so there's a huge difference between a B2B lead and a B2C lead.
Right.
Okay. So your business, you're selling to, law firm owners, you're selling to, business owners, correct?
Correct.
So in my staffing company, we do leverage virtual staff in the sales process as appointment setters or sort of spillover phone answerers. But primarily we use stateside people in appointment setting or sales roles in my B2B side because we did test it. And we just found that lawyers wanted to be sold to on a high ticket product by a person from the States. So we found the same thing there. But all the stuff behind the scenes, we do something that I want to give away to your listeners now. So we have a product that is completely free. We own a website called Audit My Intake, and we do a completely free secret shop of law firm intake processes. And anyone listening to this, Audit My Intake is my site. My intake department is very rock solid in my law firm. We use those same rules and mentality and how we do that audit so that you can tighten up your ship and make sure there is no code red areas. Because just being fair is your number one, I'm talking to you right now, is your number one issue with your clients that they don't pick up the phone when you generate them leads?
It's pretty much, it's getting them to respond, whether it's a phone call, a text, a DM, an email. It's just getting a response back. Yeah, that's I think that's the number one issue for everyone who's trying to sell something is getting a response.
So our audit will show you where the biggest issues are with that, and we'll help you solve them right away. So, in terms of B2C though, so when you sell, we do two kinds of intake products. So there's our retainer product and our contingency fee product. So in contingency fee B2C closing, in our recruiting process, we test for things like English competency and that they have the correct experience to be coming in and being either a bilingual or English only closer, especially in the contingency fee firms. So in terms of scaling up an intaker from offshore in B2C contingency fee intake, we have that very locked in.
It's like personal injury.
Yeah, personal injury, work comp, social security disability, mass tort. We have a very high batting average on succeeding in those intake placements. In the retainer placement, which in my opinion should be sort of an escalate if needed, but I do think that it's necessary to have a very experienced retainer closer. It's much harder to get someone to pull out a credit card and pay for something with a flat fee or a retainer than it is a contingency fee, which is for free functionally. So when you're building out a retainer intake team in a law firm, we do recommend having our people start in pure appointment setter roles, and that you help kind of show them the ropes. And if there's an opportunity that the client is willing and able to pay, yes, teach them how to take that credit card, but have very, very clear escalation protocol that they get on the phone with someone that can close them before you over delegate it.
Any thought to kind of expanding the referral? I mean, maybe you already are, but kind of expanding the referral business beyond the areas of law that you talked about, maybe including estate planning or family law or criminal defense.
I have dabbled with some of them. I have not figured out in my own intake department the retainer close in a way that I'm comfortable with. And I haven't built the of counsel relationship where I know I'm closing those leads the way I know I need to. We actually just turned on and off a criminal defense campaign, and we're just not quite there yet. So we're still really trying to get our feet under us with keeping and handling Pennsylvania comp and personal injury, that we're just not there yet.
Gotcha.
But
I'm
I
just
won't
curious.
rule it out in the future.
Yeah. I gotta say, Ethan, you are a super impressive guy. Like we talk a lot in our business about visionary mindset and keeping that visionary brain going and focused on what we can do next, how we can improve things. Clearly you're a visionary. I want to know from you, like what do you got cooking? What's next? Surely you have ideas. I don't want you to give everything away, but I do kind of want to know like what you're thinking about.
I'm a very open book. I have an abundant mindset. In my opinion, if you think you have the secret sauce and you are keeping it to yourself, that sharing is where everybody wins.
100%.
And if you think you have the secret sauce is that you probably think you're smarter than you are, in my opinion. So, I don't think of myself as the smartest person in the room. I love to position myself to be a mentee of whoever wants to teach me something. I appreciate somebody willing to share. Yeah. I'm always willing to share. I don't like to keep secrets because I have this irrational theory that if I'm copying other people, then I'm not innovating. And so I'm not going to copy you unless there's something you're doing that's way better than, and I can blend it with the way I want it. Cause I love the challenge of the solving in itself.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking forward. I'm not looking back, but what we're cooking, we are building a really great product in the contingency fee intake space. So we just launched a new product called Intake 360, which is my old intake department of 35 people. I moved the actual people into a shareable solution. So Intake 360 is a killer to spillover phone coverage and outbound lead follow-up for law firms 24/7. And we not only will do intake, but we will take your contingency fee agreement and we will get clients that call your firm signed on that call. And then we'll go get you a Google review. So if you want to see sort of a case study of what my firm has done, this same team is the one that signed over 4,500 cases. It's the same team that if you Google my law firm has gotten us over 2,200 Google reviews. You can go check it out.
No, I believe you.
Ethen Ostroff Law. I know it's a little obnoxious to say to Google me, but for validation that we have gotten as many Google reviews as I say, this is the same team. And we've trained our team to get Google reviews right after the intake.
2,200 Google reviews is no joke, man. That's a ton. That's amazing. Very cool. Well, that's exciting that you have that in the works. I have got some people that I need to introduce you to that I know will want to hear what you have going on.
Yeah, it's all credit based, so it's outcome based. It's not by the minute. So you buy a batch of credits, then we will take you live and we will first fix your spillover phone issues. Daytime spillover, nights and weekends for incoming calls. Then we will scope out your form fill submissions to us so that we can do outbound for you. And every signed case we get or warm transfer we give to you, we get paid on the outcome. If it's a turn down and a likely bad case, you pay a little bit, but a lot less than if we sign the case and get a Google review.
Gotcha. What's it called again?
Intake
360.
Yep.
Cool. And those of you who are watching or listening, don't forget about Audit My Intake. Check that out.
Yep.
Take
you can land on either a recommendation from us for full-time intakers or Intake 360, because Intake 360, the reason we're so excited about this is because there is not a service out there in the legal industry that does spillover phone and does outbound and gets Google reviews in addition to signed cases. There just isn't a product out there. We are also developing a AI that will guarantee every call gets answered, but as soon as the call gets picked up by the AI, it notifies our team so we can get a closer on the phone as fast as possible.
Amazing. Ethen, you got so much going on, man. You're game changing, which I love. I could talk to you for like another hour. Unfortunately, I don't have another hour, and I know you're busy too. Thank you so much for popping on and chatting with me today. let people again know how they can find you, how they can get in touch with you, how they can get in touch with the firm.
Yeah. So if you're on social media, is this being streamed on like LinkedIn and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're on LinkedIn, just look up my name, Ethen Ostroff. Feel free to connect with me, DM me. I'm happy to connect you with myself or my team, depending on what you need help with. In terms of ways to get in touch with me, I'll make sure, in the recording of this that my email and, our website are provided. But my law firm, if you want to check it out, you can find it at eol.law. We just went through a rebrand, which we're pretty pumped about. So eol.law, people didn't know how to spell my first name, so they kept misspelling it. So
they were probably adding an A instead of an E, right?
That's right. Yeah, it is an E. But we just took it out of the name of the brand. But I'll make sure there's easy ways to get in touch with me, in the description of this.
Fantastic, man. Again, what you're bringing to the table is incredible. We deal with attorneys every day, and I know they need to hear about what you guys are doing and what you have going on. So I want to help facilitate that and get you in touch with some people that need to talk to you. I know some people that need to talk to you for sure. Thank you again for giving me some time today. Those of you who are watching the live stream out there, we really appreciate you guys tuning in live. Please keep doing that. We've got more episodes coming all week long. Several of the folks coming on. If you're watching the recorded version of this, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, we really appreciate you guys tuning in as well. Please make sure you leave the stars and the thumbs and the likes and all that good stuff, and subscribe, because the more you do that, the more people are going to hear what we have to say and hear what our guests have to say. So we appreciate you guys coming on as well. I'll be back tomorrow with more episodes of P for P. Ethen, again, thank you so much for popping on here, man. This has been a great conversation, and I want to have you back on to kind of keep the conversation going and see what else you guys got cooking, because it sounds like the kitchen is always
there's a couple irons in the fire.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you popping in, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more P for P. Until then, we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.